Pitch football. Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 1. Give me your instant reaction to the game, fella.
Very tight game. Chelsea dominated really, but we've done really well. I think we need to step up a little bit, but we are where we are, to be fair. I mean, we've done really well. I think the referee's been a little bit biased against us, but hey, I'm a Palace fan, we always will do.
The one decision that sticks out is the decision not to send off Thiago Silva off the handball. Last man, was it a clear handball? Should he have been sent off?
I mean, he should have been, but to be fair, if that was a one-off occasion, there's not. But he should have been done before that, and that was what the difference is.
Do you think sometimes the decisions don't go against the big clubs?
I think just generally they don't. I don't know why. That's what they look at. They look at these decisions, and I think at the end of the day, they are the big clubs, and they just hesitate. It's not their fault. I think it's just generally it's a human thing.
Saw Conor Gallagher come on for Chelsea, 75th minute. Got a big round of applause. Did your heart drop a little bit to see him back on?
Applause, but I won't swear. He's not our player, so bollocks.
I hear that. Talk to me about Palace this season under Vieira.
Under Vieira, we've got a tough start, very tough start, doing really well, but we need to make the big changes and big scores and win the games that were like next week and the week after, when they're not the big games.
I hear that. You've had a tough run so far, haven't you?
Very tough run. We've done well, we're looking well, we look good, but we need to finish and score goals.
Well, Palace finished this season.
I'd say I'd love to make us try and nick us the European spot, but who knows?
Crystal Palace, Chelsea, 2-1 Chelsea, last minute winner by the looks of things. Give me your instant reaction to the game, sir.
Disappointing, we could have done better, and we seemed to lack the intensity, but other than that it was a fair result, I think.
It's been a tough run for Crystal Palace so far. Did you expect or hope you were going to get something out of the Chelsea game today?
Yeah, absolutely, I expected a draw at least. Yeah, so yeah, disappointing.
As fate would have it, someone who was so important and influential for Crystal Palace last season has come on for Chelsea and scored the winner. Irony, what are your thoughts on Conor Gallagher's goal?
Well, he obviously was incentivised to do that, to get a goal. He did what was asked of him. So yeah, I totally expected him to score at some point. Didn't expect him to come on so late. I expected him to come a bit earlier, but yeah, that's the way it goes, isn't it?
How have Palace done under Vieira this season, sir?
Brilliantly. We couldn't expect it for a better manager right now. So, yeah, I just hope we get to keep him, really. Yeah.
Where do you think Palace will end up this year?
10th. Yeah, if we're lucky.
Start of the season, we were hoping for a bit of a European push this year, but it's been a tough run of fixtures so far for Palace. They've got to pick up some points.
Yeah, very unlucky. And again, we're drawing a lot, which we shouldn't be. But let's see how we go. I remain hopeful and optimistic. As long as the fan base keeps up behind them, I think we've got a good chance. Yeah.
Support for Vieira seems fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. We all love him, don't we? So yeah, let's just keep supporting him and loving him. Yeah.
Elder Pitch Football, we just witnessed Crystal Palace's 2-1 home defeat to Chelsea. Close game, boys. Give me your instant reaction to the game. How'd you assess it?
I think we played well in the first half, and the second half we just let it go. It was obviously Gallagher was obviously going to score the winner. So
do you reckon?
Yeah, you could write it pretty much.
Yeah. When I heard him coming on the 75th minute, I did think, oh wow, is he going to do it? Isn't he?
Yeah, 100%. He's always going to do it. He must thrive under our atmosphere, because I was talking to a couple of Chelsea fans and they said at home games at Stamford Bridge he hasn't been the same. So it's got to be the atmosphere that thrives him.
Now, the game had some controversy in itself. Thiago Silva, a lot of people think he should have been dismissed for what looked like last man on purpose handball. Where do you sort of stand on it? Did you see it? What do you think about it?
I saw a bit. I didn't see all of it, but I mean, to be fair, it was a clear goal scoring denial, so it should have been red card. I think.
Personally, I didn't see it. I was looking elsewhere, but from what I heard from the Palace fans, it was definitely a red card.
I think there's a reluctancy to go against big teams on the VAR decisions. Seems to be every week we're moaning that another big club hasn't got the right decision to go against them.
Especially Liverpool as well. But I just think something needs to change in it, because it's the same every week. I think a lot of people would agree.
Do you think it's always going to be harder for Patrick Vieira this season with the momentum and the way they played last year, people working them out, and hard to replace players like Conor Gallagher?
Yeah, we didn't really. Well, we bought Decore, but we didn't really buy like an attacking midfielder. So I think it will be difficult as well this season. But
you've had a tough run of games so far. Let's be honest. Do you think that with some winnable games coming up, we'll see Palace start to pick up some more points?
Yeah, definitely. I believe top 10 is going to be our aim, but we've had a couple tough starts, and it's difficult. But I believe we'll we'll push on in the next couple of seasons. Have some good.
Who would, and what positions would you like to see the team strengthening in January? Realistically, do you think you can see anyone coming in?
We need a right back, like a solid right back. We need a striker that can actually score a goal. Maybe a midfielder, unless Eze can get back to it. So, but we just don't really have the money. I don't think so.
I've heard Parish has put an 80 million in for us to spend in the summer and January.
Yeah, I heard that.
But I feel like a right back definitely, and potentially maybe not invest in a left back, but let the youth left backs come through, because we don't have a backup left back.
We've seen Palace have got a fantastic youth academy. We've all been watching the show on the telly as well. Would you like to see more of these boys getting opportunity at Palace, more players homegrown coming through?
Yeah, definitely. I thought the last game of last season where we played United, he played a couple, especially Raksaki is now on loan at Charlton, and he's won a couple man of the matches. He's thriving there, but I feel like we need to get the youth in and build on that structure from the academy, because we invested all of our money from Aaron Wan-Bissaka into the academy, and I think we had the 21s promoted to the Prem and something like 17s got playoffs or something like that. It was, but yeah, our academies are doing well, and it looks like we're going to have a couple players come up.
Held a pitch football, we've just witnessed Crystal Palace 2-1 defeat to Chelsea. Last minute winner coming via Conor Gallagher. I didn't think I'd say that. Give me your reaction to it.
Well, to be honest, at the start of the game, I thought we deserved more. I thought the referee was atrocious. The centre-back should have been sent off. I thought we played well. The first goal was brilliant, but I always knew Conor Gallagher would score the winner. But we live to fight another day, so...
Talk to me about the game a little bit.
Yeah, I was the same as Matthew, but directly Gallagher picked that ball up. I knew it was going to be in the back of the net. I mean, I'm gutted. I mean, I've been coming over 50 odd years, and you think I'd be used to it with Palace now, but it's still the same. Thanks.
Yeah. Talk about Conor Gallagher a little bit. He is a special player. Is it always hard hitting when a player comes back who's been so important to the club and scores against them?
To be honest, I think Conor Gallagher is a good player, and we made him like we made Ashley Cole years ago. But I was gutted when we didn't sign him. And they always come back to haunt us, but fair play to him. Even though I booed him when he came out, fair play to the fella. But we live to fight another day, and I still think we're getting the top 6. Come on, the Palace!
Now, quite finally, let's talk about the decision not to send Thiago Silva off today. Was he the last man? Was he the last man? What are your thoughts on it?
100% he was the last man. Firstly, it was a handball.
Twice.
Yeah. And he was definitely the last man. VAR is a joke. The only reason he didn't get sent off is because the referee pulled out a yellow card straight away. If he hadn't pulled out the yellow, it would have been a straight red. They need to look at the VAR. I used to be a fan of it, but yeah, but it was definitely a straight red.
Do you think big clubs get the rub of the green with the VAR rather than the smaller teams?
100% they
Yes,
do.
they do.
100%. Little teams like Palace, the big clubs get them. There must be Chelsea fans in the VAR box.
It seemed a bit controversial. What do you think about it?
I think it's very controversial. I think he handballed it twice, and he would have run round and scored. Well, I'm not saying he would, but it was his scoring chance. So it was diabolical.
I agree, yeah. Thoughts for Palace this season? Where will the boys finish? Where will they end up?
I think my heart says top 6, but I think I'll be happy with a 10th place, 11th place, and an FA Cup final.
I think they're going to struggle this year and just about avoid going down.
Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 2. Last minute winner for Chelsea. Give me your instant reaction to the game, fella. How do you assess that?
Obviously, distraught really. But thing is, if you're we didn't let Conor Gallagher go. A player of that class.
Take easy, Nick.
Player of that class is going to come back to haunt you. We can't afford to keep him. So obviously, all I will say, he should be in the England squad. How they're admitting him, probably because he's a Palace. It's same as Ward-Prowse at Southampton, Maddison at Leicester. Those 3 players should be in the England squad, as far as I'm concerned. I'm obviously gutted, but do you know what I mean? He's a good kid. He's been brilliant for us in the past, you know.
When Conor Gallagher was brought on the 75th minute, did you worry that this would happen?
Did I worry this? I didn't foresee that happening, but I know how good the player is, so it's going to affect the game. I mean, Connor's going to affect the game. Whether it's energy or class and finishing, it's going to affect the game. He's going to be a positive influence. He's a top player.
How much did the referee affect things today with the yellow card for Thiago Silva? Should it have been a red card?
I've got to rewatch. I don't know 100%. I've got to rewatch it tonight. Everyone around me said he should have been sent off. It looked like sending off. It's deliberate handball, wasn't it? If it's deliberate handball, he's got to go, isn't he? So what's going on there?
Why do you think the big clubs seem to get the decisions with the VAR and smaller clubs are struggling to get decisions?
That's a question and a half, isn't it? Well, we all know that, don't we? We all know there's money in like everywhere. Where there's money, there's corruption, there's villainy. I know that. I grew up in South Norwood. I know where there's money, things get twisted. Obviously, look, we've done well the last 15 years. We've done amazing. But I do feel for the little clubs. My point, I mean, this leads me back into it. Why aren't Ward-Prowse and Maddison in the England squad? Surely, because if he was at Man United, he would be straight in that squad. There's no doubt about that in my mind. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind who's a big centre back. Harry Maguire. Oi, I'll be down in a minute. Harry Maguire is getting loads of grief, rightly so, right? But if he was at any other club, he wouldn't be in the England squad. Because he's at Man United, he's straight in there. No doubt about that in my mind. I've watched football for 30 years, mate. But anyway, it is what it is.
Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 2. Give me your instant reaction to the game, sir.
Well, I thought we were solid most of the game. It was a bit, I think Tompkins and Ward were a bit like Dumber and Dumber at times, just horrendous. Tompkins, I was a bit surprised not to see Chris Richards play as well, to be honest. But no, I thought we were right. I mean, Gallagher's. There's not a lot you can do about that goal, to be honest, is there? It's one of those. It's very frustrating to lose to that, and especially considering he used to play for us.
Thiago Silva, should he have been shown a red card rather than the yellow?
I was talking to my mate about that at half time. I don't think so, to be honest. I don't think he was last man, so I think the yellow was the correct decision in my unbiased opinion.
You touched on Conor Gallagher, so influential to Palace. Was it written in the script that he would come on and score the winner today?
Well, it's just, I remember saying it'd be so annoying to concede to him after all he's done for us, and he hasn't been done very well at Chelsea so far, so it's very typical for him. It's one of his only good games so far to be against us and get the winning goal in the end,
It's been frustrating for Palace, a lot of draws so far this season, losing games, tight games. Are you any worries that the form needs to pick up and increase?
No, not at the moment, because we've only had very difficult opponents at the moment, so I'm not too worried about that at the moment.
Talk to me about the team under Patrick Vieira. Do you think that they're transitioning well?
I feel like we're going in the right direction at the moment, even though after a couple challenging results, but I still think we're going in the right direction.
Love that. It seems positive, just close matches and not getting the rub of the green at the minute.
Exactly. There was a couple of times with that last season as well, like just close matches and just losing at the end, for example versus Brighton as well. So if we turn these draws or like late losses to draws and wins, I feel like we can challenge for top 10 and eventually challenge for Europe, in my opinion.
Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 2. Give me your instant reaction to the game.
Oh man, I didn't catch too much of the game, but I caught just a perfect time seeing Connor score that amazing goal, and it was just a great moment for him, a great moment for the team, exactly where we need to be right now.
What do you think of Chelsea this season under new manager Graham Potter?
It's still a transitional. These are a type of transitional type of games, so we're still trying to work out our system, still trying to work out our formation. This is our first Premier League game against Graham Potter, so very interesting to see how he progresses throughout the season.
Do you think Graham Potter will be there long term?
I hope so. That's what I said about Tuchel, but it's important that we need to have a manager for the long term.